difficult to break down. And often when a team goes down to 10 players, that kind of becomes more the case. Nevertheless, does that feel like an opportunity missed to win the game today?
Yeah, 100%. I think the way we dominate the game, apart from the early chance with Rolfo, of course, I think in a lot of parts of the game you're excellent because it's a really good opponent. They like to be really intense, aggressive in the press. I think we pacified that really well. We took that away from their game. We had to match them in the physicality of the game, the duels, the first, second balls. We did that well as well, especially in midfield and our centre backs in the back line. So that was all positive. So there's a lot of positives in the performance. 0-0 away against United, 0-0 today against United. I think there's a lot of progression in the performance today. We have a lot more shots created and a lot more entries into the box, but unfortunately we didn't get the ball into the net today. So it feels like 2 lost points.
And what I was going to ask second, actually, it's the third 0-0 in the WSL this season. There have probably been other games where Arsenal have scored but come away feeling like they haven't scored enough to reflect their dominance. Do you diagnose that as a finishing issue, a creativity issue, a timing issue?
It's always the team, so it's not about individuals, it's about how, and that's why we take a lot of responsibility as well, how we set up the team, how we play players to their strengths, what we choose to focus on in our training weeks, how we help the players on the pitch. So, but like I said, I think there was a lot of things that were much better today. So if you look at the amount of shots and the chances created, we should have scored today. So I would be more worried if we weren't creating the chances. I think we've had a period in the first half of the season where we created much less. So I think that's positive. And now it's about the final detail to get the ball into the net.
Hey Renee, just kind of following up on that, in terms of that wastefulness, do you think that was probably, I suppose, the number one reason why we didn't get 3 points today?
Yeah, definitely. Because there's a lot of things that we do really well in the game. Pacifying that press, progressing the ball up on the pitch. From our defensive side, I think we are really good and disciplined. We do things together. We are connected. There's high cohesion. Players are playing their roles. We create from turnovers. We go forward. We're creating set pieces. I think the game craft was good today as well. How we deal with different moments in the game. But yeah, unfortunately the ball needs to go in, and that didn't happen today.
In terms of goalkeeping, time wasting, that's been an issue that's been brought up a lot. It seemed like Alana did that a couple of times today. Obviously when the sending off of Riviere happened, she went down, United had a chance to regroup and discuss. Does that frustrate you, number one? And I suppose number two, would you like to see some kind of rule come in that would prevent that from happening?
Yeah, it's frustrating for the players on the pitch, because when you have momentum and you want to keep the rhythm going, you don't want the ball to be dead. And I think also frustrating, if I look at it bigger picture, I think there's so many people investing so much to come and watch us in the stadium, on TV. I think the product needs to be attractive, and I think this is probably one of the areas that brings the entertainment down a little bit. I have not much time to think about the exact solution, but I think there's other people thinking about the exact solution, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, there was one that was suggested to me earlier about potentially just the captain being allowed to go over and speak to the manager to prevent like a whole team going over. Would that be something, for example, that you might? Yeah,
I've heard those. I've heard about that. Yeah, I think that could be an example of it. But I think there's so much at stake. I think teams, coaches, players are always looking to stretch the rules. So I wonder what will be the next. So there will always be something. But yeah, important I think is that we keep the game attractive, and there's a lot at stake, but it should also be entertainment for the fans.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Helen?
Yes, Renee, I thought there were really good moments in the game today, but Man United were very good at blocking like everything. But I thought the two things where maybe you guys weren't as good were set pieces. They weren't great, they often overshot, and the shooting, there were lots of shots, but the quality of the shots weren't quite as great. A lot of them went straight at their goalkeeper, or just wide, etc. I know that's easy to say afterwards, but it felt like some of them could have been crafted a bit better. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, definitely with the shots, the quality of how we set the player up to get a clear shot, the angle of the shot, but then the actual shot as well. So I think that's what we just discussed. I think that we could have done better because there's around 25 shots. I think we often aim to be around 40 to 50% on target, and we're not close at all. So I think a lot goes off target today as well. But as I said, it's a team performance, so we're all looking at it and all reviewing it, but we keep on believing that the goals will come because we've shown that before, how good finishers we have in the team and how we can set up really good attacks, so it will come.
And the other thing, just following on from that, is you brought on Stina, so usually the idea is to be a bit more direct when she comes on, but it felt to me like you didn't necessarily play to her strength. There was one fantastic chance where she sort of back-heeled it and it went straight to John's choice again. And it just felt like she wasn't getting enough service. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, well, I don't know exactly how many minutes after she comes on, Rivière gets the red card, and that's when the game changes and there's less space in behind. So that's one of Stina's big strengths, the running in behind, but she's actually also really good with her runs into the box from crosses. So, but yeah, there wasn't as much space for her.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Hi, Renee. It's likely that you'll be 10 points off the top of the WSL this time tomorrow. With 10 games left to play, how do you rate Arsenal's title chances at this stage?
Well, we make it harder for ourselves with this result. We needed 3 points today, so that's 2 points lost for us. So we make it harder, absolutely. There's still games left to play tomorrow, so we'll see the results in those games. That's outside of our control, but as long as it's possible, we keep on chasing, and we are looking to climb the table.
Yeah, and there's still plenty to play for, whatever in the league and in Europe as well, of course. Looking at the squad right now, how confident are you that it can achieve your objectives this season, or does it need more help right now in the January transfer window?
I'm really happy with the squad. Of course, we have Leah coming back in now as well after injury. Duff is very close. Smilla has come in and added some new qualities. Chloe hopefully doesn't take too long before she's back either. So there is players coming back. So I don't think we necessarily have to go. We will be active in the window. We will stay and look at what's happening and what we can do. We're always planning windows ahead, but yeah, it's obviously open at the moment. But yeah, I want to have a look or focus on the squad that we have right now and the players coming back and the quality that we have already. So I think we have high quality players in the squad.
Flo?
Hi Renee, I just wanted to ask, it felt like you finished the end of the year with such strong momentum going into the break, and it does feel like such a long break if you are in a good rhythm. Do you wish that the break was a little bit shorter?
I think this break, and we will never know. I say the break was shorter, we would have come back and you win and you score your chances against United. We will never know, so that's speculating. But I think breaks are important for players because there's a lot of demands on the players. Both us, for example, being active in 5 competitions, national team football, tournaments in summer. So the break is absolutely essential for the players to be able for it to be sustainable.
And also I wanted to ask about your record against the rest of the top 4, because obviously so much of the season comes down to that. Even though you picked up points elsewhere, is it frustrating that I think it's 3 points from those 4 games against those sort of typical sides that you're competing against?
Yeah, I think it's important that you get wins against those teams, especially at home. And if I look at the performance today and how we dominate United, and I think we set ourselves up really well to get a win today. So yeah, that's frustrating.
Last one from Tom.
Hi Renee. Just with another draw, and I suppose they've only lost one game, but given the better value points-wise of a win followed by a defeat, followed by a win, followed by a defeat, do you feel you could take more risks in games to try and search for those wins?
I think we did today. I think we invested quite some numbers high up the pitch, especially the last 30 minutes in the game. We have to respect opposition. United is a very strong team. They've also added some quality into their squad. We've seen how they've come back several times against us last season here at the Emirates. If you look at their game against Spurs, so it's always balancing things as well as we can. But I think if you look at the last 30 minutes in the game, we are taking risks and we are investing a lot of numbers going forward. Of course, they go down one player as well. But I think we worked that scenario quite well. The only detail was that we wanted to get the ball into the box more often from certain areas. So that's something we will look at. But yeah, I think it's always going to be a balancing act against the top teams, especially.
And in a strange way, if it had been 11v11, there would always be more gaps in the United back line compared to when they go back to 10 and they're really deep and compact.
Yeah, I think that's what you often see happen because they know their main objective is to defend something and defend the goal, so they're probably thinking less about how they want to go forward. So they make spaces really small and they don't have to think much about their next action going forward. So, but yeah, United are excellent at defending their box. They're really good at it. They have a really good goalkeeper, and I think I want to compliment them for how they defend their box. They didn't make it easy for us at all. But if you look at the amount of shots and entries in the box, we should have scored today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.